Happy Monday, Tony Hart.
Hello. Hope you had a good weekend.
That was nice, refreshing. Enjoyed a little nice warm weather. Got outside a little bit, did a little hiking.
Did you go to you were at the Ice Fest on
Saturday.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was it's a good time. Lots of things to be done. Fireworks, of course.
Cool.
Always a good time. All right, coming up this morning, Tony, we've got a little news about our old home.
Yes, our old Radio Central building on Central Entrance next to Caribou there has got a new tenant. We'll talk about that.
Find out who's moving in. Also, the Stanley Cup trend, not the hockey cup.
Yeah, I was going to say the hockey.
Yeah, no. The mug trend that's been a big thing, we've talked a little bit about on the air, is bringing some concern out of a few doctors.
Probably because of the weight, I'm thinking, because they're so heavy.
We'll find out what they have to say.
Tetanitis.
Tennis elbow drinking.
Tennis elbow, bro. We're going to call it Stanley elbow.
we'll see what they're saying.
This is a new trend. We should get on that. Stanley elbow. Oh, bro, I got Stanley elbow.
Oh, man.
Out 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. We'll also play Song in 60 here in a little while. I think it's my day to guess today, right, Tony?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Mix 108. Good morning. It is Tony Hart and Nick Cooper. Together, we are the Morning Brew. I appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's time to play Song in 60. It's Nick's turn to guess today with you. So play along with us and see if you can guess the song by the clues that I give. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Song in 60 timer starts right now. Hannah. Montana.
Okay, so it's Miley Cyrus.
Crane. Swinging.
Oh, boy.
Basket. Soccer. Base.
It's funny. I'm seeing Ron Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he made what's the name of the song, though?
Bro.
It's
Destroy a Building.
Wrecking Ball.
Yes.
I love how the visual that comes to my mind isn't Miley on the Wrecking Ball. It's Ron Jeremy. Thanks for that, Internet. Gross.
That's a disgusting way to start a week.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
No, thank you for.
So it's my fault.
I need to take a shower now. Gross.
Mix 108. Good morning and happy Monday. It's Tony and Nick in the Morning Brew. So, how many years have we been in this building? Like 3 or 4 now?
It was the tail end of 2019. So,
we've been here a while.
Yeah, a few years.
Before we moved to downtown Duluth in the Holiday Center, we were up on Central Entrance
the
old Radio Central building.
Yeah.
Which is next to Caribou Coffee.
Yep.
Which was once a gas station.
Yep.
But now, as of late March of this year, it will be the new location for Memorial Blood Centers.
I was hoping and/or theorizing it was going to be a restaurant.
Right. Seems like a good location.
Yeah, like either a fast food place or not Applebee's, but like an Applebee's-like place, a fast casual type of place. But
right. According to a statement, the new location will have more beds, new state-of-the-art equipment, free parking, and new comfortable lounge area. Their current location in the Burning Tree Plaza near Best Buy will close, and they will move into this new location late in March. They said that we have chosen to close our existing Duluth location in order to relocate staff and equipment to better serve our blood donors and maximize our collections in Duluth.
You got to imagine that's a more convenient and maybe a bigger space.
Oh, yeah, it's a pretty big space.
Yeah.
Look for them to move in March. Little history on that building.
Okay.
Right? So before it was Radio Central.
Right. Which it was for a number of years.
20 years.
Yep.
20 years. Before that, it was a color tile owned water bedroom store.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of explains the little tiles on the sign where the radio station logos are. They kind of look like bathroom tiles.
Now I get it. I never knew that. Neither
did I. And before that, the building was built in the early 1970s and opened as a National TEA grocery store.
Oh, I guess I'd heard that it was a grocery store, but I didn't know what the brand was.
Yeah. And then, so Brill Media bought the building back in 1997.
Okay.
And
Didn't they do like a Christmas party to announce it?
I don't remember that.
There's a
the Oracle would know.
guy I used to work with that's always talked about a Christmas party that they said it's going to be on Central Entrance, and he goes, "What?" So.
So anyways, so Memorial Blood Center, the signs went up. We got photos of the new location and the signs on the Mix 108 app or mix108.com.
I hope I didn't forget anything after we moved out that they find.
And honestly, I hate to say this, but man, we got some stories about that building.
We do.
And you said you had talked to somebody, right? And you gave them the advice.
I said, we've got a lot of stories, written stories on our website about that building. So, I mean, if you want to read, feel free to read.
You're like, I'm not gonna trash the building. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. Just go read what's been previously written or videos or any of that stuff.
There's a lot there's a lot of memories, good, bad, crazy memories from that place. So, but they've done a lot of work to make it the new space.
They completely gutted it out.
Yeah.
I noticed a month or so ago that they kind of gutted it out. The building was sold. Like the guy who owned Brill Media, Alan Brill, owned the building for years and years.
Right.
Even after he sold the radio stations, he still owned the building.
Sure.
But in 2022, he sold the building to another company.
Oh, okay.
So the building was sold in 2022 for $1.275 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
The building was bought in 1997 for $402,000.
Return
Do the math on that
investment.
profit, yeah.
Return on investment.
There you go.
Very nice. All right, now we know what's going to be in our old home. Like I said, if you find anything we forgot,
take down the signs because the sign is really gross and ugly.
I would have.
It's still up there.
Oh, the one on the highway.
Yeah,
the
little tiles.
Really?
Yeah, it's still there.
You got to think.
They'll take it down.
Yeah, that's coming down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fun. Good to know. Coming up here a little later on this morning, there's a health expert that's warning that the Stanley Cup trend might have some negative health effects. We'll share what they say those are. Plus, get some music in for you from Taylor Swift. Oh, Pitbull on the way as well. Coming up here and Mix It Away. Good morning. Mix 108, the Northland's number one hit music mix. It's Nick Cooper and Tony Hart, Monday Morning Brew. And the last few months, there's been a lot of buzz about Stanley mugs, Stanley Cups, the big, especially the big 40-ounce ones.
The big 40-ounce quenchers.
Yeah, they're kind of a fashion statement accessory right now. And I mean, don't get me wrong.
Less of a hydration to a more of a fashion statement.
Right, but people are using them, not just carrying them around.
Right.
You could carry them on as a good weight.
They're heavy.
They're made of metal, and if you put fluids in them, they're big.
Yeah, you could put sand in them and work out with them. Probably
spend $100, buy a couple of them, and you can just lift during the day.
Dumb weights.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a medical expert that says it's great that there's this trend with Stanley, Hydro Flask, and a few other brands over the last number of years, encouraging people to hydrate. However, there's such a thing as too much of a good thing, and that's the concern this medical expert has. He says, I think the concern and issue is that everyone's going to start drinking huge amounts of water. He's the chief medical officer at NYU.
And you can drink too much water.
You can, yeah. So then that's a legitimate thing to be aware of. The thing is, I don't know. I'm not an expert here, but I don't know that people are actually reaching that level.
No, like I said, it's a fashion thing, not a hydration thing.
Right. So the popular ones are the 40-ounce Stanley Quencher tumblers. They're big. Come in a number of different colors. I know the hot one was the Valentine's pink one. Was it just an exclusive Target thing?
I believe so,
okay.
yeah.
But can we have some salespeople here? There's one of them that is like a teal one. They look nice. They're fancy.
I know a couple of people that work here that are afraid to bring it into the office because they don't want to be judged.
Oh, that's kind of funny. I have guesses, but I don't want to shame them on the air, so I won't do that.
It's Lauren.
I knew it. Sorry, Lauren. I was going to say it, but I figured I'll be nice. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So, sorry, Lauren. So anyway, the concern is that if you drink too much, you're going to cause some harm. So the expert says that men should drink 3.7 liters or so of water per day, while women should drink about 2.7 liters or so, a little less. So basically they're saying you should listen to your body, and if you're thirsty, drink, but don't be constantly, pounding several of these a day. It works out to, I believe.
You got to hold it up so people see that you have a Stanley. And I've been instructed that you got to make sure that the handle's on the right side.
Of course.
The Stanley logo.
The logo shows. Yeah, exactly. So I think the math works out to a couple a day is kind of the thing. The thing is, I have I'm not cool. I've got a Yeti water bottle. It's a 1 liter. I know.
You're lame,
I
bro.
know.
You're so 2018, bro. Get with it.
So this is a 1 liter bottle, and I feel like I drink even if I'm not like thirsty. I keep myself hydrated, and this is not too much if I drink the whole thing.
Well, there's been a trend. There's a Yeti, and then there was the Hydro Flask trend for a while, and I think there was another, and now it's onto the Stanley.
Now we're on to Stanley.
So whatever's next.
But over the course of the entire workday, I'll maybe finish this, but I don't feel like I finish it way too early, and I'm like, I need another one.
Right.
So I don't know that a lot of people are drinking 3 to 4 full Stanley. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I feel
I'm
like
waiting for Dyson to come out with something. Some weird looking thing that just like, never mind.
Yeah, what's another brand that I don't know. So anyway, don't be drinking too much water is the concern. Or probably fluids of any sort, I guess. You don't want to drink. If you're drinking 3 to 4 massive 40-ounce cups of anything, you're probably maybe having a little too much.
So much.
We're going to see what's trending at the top here in a couple minutes. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's the Mix 108 Morning Brew.
Live from the Mix 108 studio in downtown Duluth, this is KBMX FM, Proctor Duluth Superior, a town square media station.
Well, good morning and happy Monday. It's currently 29 degrees downtown Duluth at the Mix 108 studios. Looking for high today into the mid to upper 30s. Could see some wintry mix, some fog this morning, so just kind of be aware of the potential of maybe some slick spots today. Tomorrow, partly sunny mid 30s into the 40s Wednesday, Tony, is what the...
Excuse me?
Yeah, 42 is the forecast for the Duluth area.
Oh, we'll take that.
For Wednesday. And then a little cooler Thursday, mid 30s once again. But a warm week, generally cloudy is kind of the deal. Hopefully see some peaks of sun midweek if we're lucky. Seeing the sun yesterday, by the way, was kind of a shock after the whole week last week. I don't know if I saw the sun once. It was just very cloudy.
Yeah, Mindy pointed out about the sun, and I was like, really? The sun hasn't been out all week? And then I thought about it. I'm like, I guess it has been kind of gloomy all week.
Yeah. So here we are. Dealing with that.
We got our Super Bowl team set, huh?
We do. We now know who's playing in the Super Bowl 58. Super Bowl 58.
So it'll be the Chiefs.
Yep.
Taylor's team.
Yep.
We'll just call it Taylor's team.
Sure.
And who's the other team? I don't want to say that.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
So it's red. The theory about the logo is blown out of the water because it's two teams that are red and white.
Blown out of the water. And once again, of course, a team like the Vikings, it's,
Yeah.
we have no hope.
No.
See, that's why I was cheering for the Lions, to give me hope that someday it could happen for us. And now I know it will never happen.
Yep. Yeah.
So time to move on.
Keep trying to hope, though, Tony. It's okay.
Nope, time to move on.
All right, fair enough.
Time to move on. I'm going to watch the spring football leagues. Just get all invested.
Hey, we got a football team coming to Duluth this summer, so that's good
sure.
news.
I'm all in the Harbor Monsters.
Harbor Monsters. There you go.
Harbor Monsters all the way for the championship.
Embrace the Harbor Monsters. All right, we're going to get some music in for you in a bit from Paul Russell. It's Dua Lipa now here. Mix it away. Good morning. Mix 108 Morning Brew on a Monday, and return to warm weather, return of more cancellations for winter activities. News.
Oh, of course.
News out of the Twin Cities. A couple of big ice castle or ice palaces that tend to be attractions every winter while they're being, their seasons are abruptly coming to an end due to what could be into the 50s for a chunk of the week this week down in the Twin Cities.
Wow.
So there's two different ones. I didn't realize that there was a separate ice palace in Delano. I knew about the official ice castle, like the brand ice castles. They've got the deal in Maple Grove, but the Delano Ice Palace apparently said over the weekend that was that was the end of their season. They're done now.
That's it.
And the Ice Castles, that official brand name in Maple Grove, they said they're extending their hours this week, figuring they're probably going to be done sometime this week. And so what they're doing is they're normally shut down, I think, Mondays and Tuesdays, and they decided, we'll be open Mondays and Tuesdays because they need to do maintenance and stuff, but we'll be open. We're going to extend our hours, and then we're probably going to be shut down soon just because of the fact it's going to be a very warm week this week, and next week's supposed to be warm too. So there's no...
Winter's done, huh?
Yeah.
I want that.
So if you were hoping to go and check those attractions out, well, you missed one of them, and the other one, you have to take a day off.
Spring attractions now.
Exactly. The good news is unless something drastically changes, last year, I know Ken was worried about the studio next door about ice being out on some lakes in the Northland for fishing opener.
Yeah.
don't think we'll have that worry this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. No. It dawned on me over the weekend how little snow we have because, like, over by the University of Wisconsin Superior campus,
Sure.
right, the city of Superior generally dumps, like, all the snow that
from lots and stuff.
Yeah, so they usually have a big mountain of snow over by UWS.
Sure.
I was walking the dog yesterday, and I noticed that there is no pile of snow this year. Absolutely none.
Sure.
Usually that pile would be a 4-story building by this point.
Nothing. I was, as we mentioned earlier this morning, I was at the Lake Superior Ice Festival over the weekend.
Yeah.
Did a broadcast on Saturday, and I was visiting with somebody that was actually visiting from out of town. They were from the Twin Cities. They didn't come up just for the Ice Festival. They were up for their anniversary, and they were just checking things out around the area, and they stopped over there. And so I was visiting with them, and they said it's kind of nice just to see snow at all because there is 0 snow in the Twin Cities where they're from. So the little bit that we have in spots on the grass was refreshing to them because they have not seen much snow at all this winter.
Well, we got to be getting into, like, talking about, like, droughts and,
So,
like,
interesting
fire hazards for the summer and stuff like
what's
that.
interesting
It's gonna be one
about
of those
that-
summers, probably.
Depending on how the rest of the winter goes, maybe. The thing, though, is we've gotten some rainy events. Like, we got a couple inches of rain over Christmas.
Yeah,
So we're
that's
not
true.
running a huge drought necessarily.
Yeah.
We just haven't got a lot of snow. It's been warmer. So
The rain is probably a little more effective than the snow. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get a little bit of rain for a few days.
sure.
It's probably more effective than, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna take on a weather.
But it's funny you brought that up
conversation with
because
you.
I just read something over the weekend about that exact thing, that we're not necessarily running a giant drought.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been kind of dry, but
We're not in the.
we just don't have snow everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good.
yeah. So but yeah, as we continue through the winter and all of a sudden we don't get any snow, that normal melt that we have, it'll get drier faster.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, later this spring could be bad news. We're going to get some music in for a little bit from Sia. Taylor Swift. Is she going to make it to the Super Bowl? She's on the way. We were just talking about that off the air. You know, she's got.
Yeah, we'll talk about that conversation in a couple minutes.
She's coming up here a little bit. I'm Mix It Away. Good morning.
Mix 108. Good morning, friends, and happy Monday. It's Tony and Nick. It's the Morning Brew.
It's a meat mystery.
What is this? Like, I'm on camera, so I can't say the words that I exactly used, but what is this?
Heather Doherty says she woke up Wednesday morning to what she thinks is, of all things, pepperoni.
From the door to the edge of the porch, and then strategically placed down the stairs to the driveway. Nothing on the driveway, and then 4 slices on the hood and 4 slices on the trunk.
What the heck?
Perfect timing on that. That's funny because I had that exact same thought when I heard her say that. Yeah, a woman in New Jersey is upset after some pepperoni was, distributed all around her house and on her property, left on her car. It was a disaster. She did end up calling authorities.
She called Manville police to let them know what happened. She says she's worried the grease from the meat sitting on her car could ruin the paint, something that one local body shop says sounds strange, but is possible.
Pepperoni can no damage a car, a paint, if it don't sit for a really long time.
Sure, okay, all right.
I love the investigative reporting that's going on in this piece.
The reporter that got sent on this is like,
Well, I'm going to go all in. This
All
guy's
right.
like, I'm going to go all
I'm gonna
in.
take this real seriously
After
here.
the trip to the auto dealership to discuss the pepperoni on the paint problem, said reporter went to the pizza shop to try to identify the pepperoni.
As an Italian, it hurts the heart.
Give me a slice of plain and a white.
Spending a lifetime in the business of pepperoni, owner of Manville Pizza, Anthony Daniello, says the meat looks larger than the kind you'd use on pizza.
Certainly of the family of pepperoni, salami. Exactly what one I can't be certain.
I love it. It's a mystery. Well, we're not exactly sure what kind of meat this is.
Like, how many types of different pepperoni are there? Isn't like pepperoni like a thing? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I just
Like,
thought it was a thing. That's
pepperoni
it.
is a thing.
I guess maybe some different diameters and stuff, but
Well, I suppose, but I like the recipe should be generally
yeah,
similar,
about the
right?
same.
Like
Yeah, pretty
pepperoni.
close.
Yeah, anyways.
What defines pepperoni? It's a good question. Right.
The victim says she's, just upset about the whole incident.
It's wrong. You should not be trespassing. You should not be vandalizing people's properties. I even made a joke and called them the pepperoni bandits.
Whether it's a bandit or bandits, Doherty can't help but smile over something this bizarre.
Good luck to the bandits.
Well, here's what.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh, no kidding. So that's not a cheap thing to go throwing around on somebody's property either.
It's a good point.
I mean,
that's a good investment right there. It's not like going to grab 4 rolls of cheap toilet paper to go TP somebody's house.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making a good $10 investment in a nice loaf of pepperoni to go slice up. Well, and looking at it, too, I mean, she's not joking. Somebody literally had to cut this. It's not like the pre-sliced pepperoni that you would get in a bag if you were to make a pizza at home or something like that, right? No, this is because even the tips of the
ends,
are just sitting on the on the car.
Did she make a deli owner mad at some point in time?
And I love how the pizza owner takes it as a slam to his whole whole Italian thing. As an Italian, I can't believe somebody would waste all this sausage, all this pepperoni gone.
Oh man.
So the mystery of the pepperoni bandit continues in New Jersey.
That's wild. Just can't believe who would waste the money on something like that. That's the first place my mind goes.
Maybe she did because now she's on the news, right?
Oh, there's a hot take. Mm-hmm. Hot take.
She pepperonied herself.
Good for her, I guess. Coming up later on this morning, there is an Uber driver that's getting a little attention online due to I would call it a viral experience as a part of riding around in the Uber. I think it's kind of entertaining. And there's a gas station bathroom that might be one-upping some popular gas stations that pride themselves around the Northland. We'll talk about that coming up later on this morning here in Mix It Away. Good morning. Mix 108 Morning Brew on a Monday morning, 7:50, 29 degrees downtown Duluth at the Mix 108 studios. So last week, Justin Timberlake debuted his new song off of an upcoming album. Song called Selfish. The album's set to come out in March. Mm-hmm. So did you see what some Britney fans are doing?
Oh, gosh, no, I did not.
So Britney Spears fans are trolling Justin Timberlake with some online music charts. So what they've done is she had a song that was also called Selfish. Different song. And they've been driving that song up download charts on iTunes and stuff like that. So just a little troll, because obviously there's a little backstory there between Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. And so fans, in seeing the release of the album, and of course after the news that came out last year about the stuff in Britney's book, there was a little bit of a need to among fans to take a little stab at Justin. So they're trolling him.
I've never heard the Britney song.
I haven't either. I was actually looking for it, and it is at the bottom of we've got it in a story on the Mix mobile app, as a matter of fact. I'm assuming I could try playing it for you. I just haven't heard it before. I don't know if Britney goes and swears off the top of the song or not, so I'm afraid to play it on the air, having never heard it before. I'm assuming she doesn't.
Go for it.
I'm assuming she doesn't.
I have it right here.
Okay, so let me make sure.
Just go for it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough.
Okay, enough? Yeah.
That's enough.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to hear if it was a slow song or
no. It's not a slow song. So I need to check out the entire thing. But yeah, we've got some details on that on our website mobile app, as well as that song, which if you're a Britney fan, you might know it. I mean, I don't know her entire catalog, so I had no idea that was even a thing, but I just thought that was kind of funny.
That is funny.
We're going to see what's trending at the top in a couple minutes. Music on the way as well for you from Billie Eilish, Jack Harlow, and more all coming up here in Mix It Away. Good morning and happy Monday.
Live from the Mix 108 studio in downtown Duluth, this is KBMX FM, Proctor Duluth Superior, a town square media station.
8:02 on a Monday morning. Currently, it is 29 degrees downtown Duluth at the Mix 108 studios. Looking for a high today into the 30s. Could see some mixed precip along the way today, so might see some slippery spots. Be careful. But 37 was what the forecast is saying for today. Tomorrow, mid-30s, partly sunny. Wednesday into the 40s. depending on who you say, I've seen anywhere between 40 and 45 for the Twin Ports area for Wednesday. And then warmer through the remainder of the week, and next week looking warm too. So I guess more of the same is kind of the name of the game.
Like that, huh? Hey, I wanted to mention this because I wanted to bring this story back up from last week because I saw one this morning.
Okay.
That the MnDOT says it's not going to adhere to the federal standards for the signs, right?
Yes, yep.
I saw one this morning.
Did you? What did it say?
I did. It said something to the effect of don't fumble on the freeway, or it was a football-related one.
Okay, all right. Well played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that MnDOT has said that we're not changing what we're doing is what their message was, which good for them.
Yeah.
Also trending this morning, if you haven't heard, we've got were you not done?
No, I'm done. No,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's called doing this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We now know who's going to be in the Super Bowl now. You haven't heard the news. The San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Taylor Swifts are heading to Las Vegas to play in the Super Bowl. By the way, if you don't know, the halftime show is going to be Usher. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of guests Usher brings aboard for
Maybe
his...
Taylor will come out.
I sincerely doubt that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would they do together?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Did you also see that the Super Bowl has its first ever game time performer?
What?
Yeah, they're like Armin von something or another. He's a famous like DJ, like rave DJ type of thing. So they're gonna have like a DJ performing or doing stuff during the game.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the Super Bowl's first ever like game time performer. I forgot what they called it, but yeah. Yeah,
so like during lulls in action, basically.
I guess, yeah.
Huh. That's an interesting idea because, I don't know if there's actual rules about this, if it's stadium rules or team rules or whatever, because during gameplay itself, they always shut off the music whenever I've been in like a Vikings game.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's the same case with this or not.
Armin van Buuren.
Okay.
He's a good DJ.
Okay.
But yeah, he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl.
Never heard of the guy, but I guess I don't follow that scene all that closely, so.
Big raver.
Yeah, not really. Coming up later on this morning, there is a genius, maybe, idea that there's a gas station chain that's rolled out in their bathrooms, which kind of has... I have some questions about it, I guess.
Scratch that. I have to make a correction.
Okay.
Tiesto's the DJ. You probably heard of Tiesto.
Yes.
It's not Ammon. No. It's Tiesto.
I know who that is.
Yes. Tiesto will be the first ever in-game DJ.
Okay.
My bad. I'm so much into the rave scene that I get them mixed up. That's all right. My bad.
It's okay. I thought maybe the name you said was like the actual name of someone else. So that's why I was kind of like, is that Tiesto's actual name?
What? No.
Okay.
Tiesto. No, Armin van Buuren is another DJ. I
wouldn't know.
I'm probably mispronouncing that as well. Nobody cares about this conversation.
All right. Well, that was... Mix 108 Morning Brew on a Monday morning. Good morning to you. It's Nick Cooper and Tony Hart. 8:15, 29 degrees downtown Duluth at the Mix 108 studios. So you were looking at the story about the ski resort thing. What happened here?
Well, a lady got stuck on a what do you call those? A gondola?
Oh, okay.
A ski gondola?
Got stuck on it.
Yeah, for like 15 hours, bro.
15 hours?
Yeah. Listen to this.
15 hours. That is how long Monica Lasso spent overnight hanging in the sky on a gondola at Heavenly Mountain Resort.
En ese lugar y luchando con el frío porque hizo mucho frío.
Lasso says the hours felt long as she was fighting the cold by rubbing her hands and feet. She is thankful she survived that experience.
My goodness, hanging there for 15 hours in the cold.
Right, you may wonder how it's possible that she got stuck on this gondola alone for 15 hours.
Lasso tells us she got into the gondola at around 4:58 p.m. She says a worker guided her there after she expressed she was too tired to snowboard down the mountain. Then suddenly,
A los 2 minutos que estaba arriba de la góndola, para.
2 minutes after she got on, the gondola stopped, leaving her stranded.
Whoa.
Seems to me like 5 o'clock is pretty early to shut down the gondola at a ski resort, don't you think?
I would say so.
So apparently she got on for the ride down, which probably isn't a normal thing, right? Like,
Sure.
You probably ride it up.
And then you ski or snowboard down.
Ski or snowboard down. So riding down is probably not something very common. So
Sure.
I could see where some miscommunication might have happened between the gondola operators and she got forgotten up there.
Right. Wow.
But
Lasso says she screamed every time she saw a worker down below, but they could not hear her. Monica Lasso tells us it wasn't until the gondola came back down that crews realized she had stayed in the sky overnight, now leaving a lot of questions about how this could have happened.
So thankfully she's okay, but after 15 hours spent in there, I'd be a little upset. Looking
Yeah.
for a free weekend at least.
Well, so you would think there'd be some level of communication because she said she spoke with somebody about not wanting to go down the hill skiing.
Yeah, and the police were notified. Her friends notified the police that she was missing. So, I mean, part of me is like, well, that's kind of bad police work if they couldn't find her for 15 hours.
Well,
and they knew
right.
they knew exactly where she was.
Yeah. And had
On a ski hill, if somebody goes missing, you might want to go try to find
check
them.
the ski hill. Probably a good first place to start. Well, thankfully she's okay.
Well, thankfully, yeah, she is okay, but something just seems a little off with this story.
No kidding. Where was this resort?
In Lake Tahoe, California.
Okay.
But it was one of those enclosed like type gondolas too.
Sure.
So she wasn't exposed necessarily to the elements. Probably not heated.
Well,
but
exactly. Still cold.
She wasn't like sitting on like a chair for 15 hours.
Exposed to the wind or something. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised those things don't have like an emergency call button or something.
That's a good point. Or, I mean, I guess not everybody has a cell phone. Obviously she didn't, but, call for help. Man. Well, thankfully, again, she's okay. But, yeah, that's a bad look for those resort employees. And like you said, the cops, like,
these guys are like, it's 5 o'clock. We're done.
we're checking out. Goodness. Wow.
Turn them off. We're done.
Jeez. Wow. All right, coming up here a little bit, we're going to be talking about an Uber driver that's offering a very unique experience, or experiences, I should say. We'll share what those are coming up soon. Music also on the way from Glass Animals, Dua Lipa, and more here. Mix It Away. Good morning. Mix 108 Morning Brew. Good morning and happy Monday. And I haven't been in an Uber for a few months, but it seems like many of those instances that I've been in an Uber, it usually ends up being, so how long have you been a driver?
Do you talk to the... I've taken maybe 2 Uber drives in my entire life.
I try to be friendly, but there's always this weird, awkward, like, okay, I'm paying you to get me from A to B.
Like getting a haircut, like that kind of awkwardness, like...
Basically, unless you go to the same person all the time, then you could kind of, you know what to talk about a little bit. So anyway, there's an Uber driver in Alaska that's got a good idea. Kind of wish more people would do this on some level. So offers a ride menu. The idea is that they will offer a series of ride experiences with the ultimate goal of adding a little something beside just getting from A to B. So some of these menu items include, they have catchy little names like the Road Rage Ride. So they can actually drive with road rage, but they'll complain about every other driver, their vehicles, why this should be allowed on the road. So a little bit
That'd be great. I'd love that. That would be my Uber job.
Another one is the information ride. So they'll tell you as much as they can. In this case, about Alaska.
The dad drive.
Yeah. Like, hey, this is there.
That building right there used to...
Another one, the restaurant ride, talking about restaurants on the route or options to consider. Because usually if you're in an Uber, many times you might not live in the area. That's not always the case, but it's an option, especially if you're visiting.
How much does he charge for these extras?
No charge.
No
So
charge.
part of the experience. Part of the deal.
All right.
The next one makes me chuckle because I feel like there's certain times this is what you want. He calls it the Simon and Garfunkel experience. It's the sound of silence.
That's the one I'd want.
There are plenty of times where it's like, I might just have my earbuds in and just get me there, please. Couple other ones, the Life's Lesson Ride. Driver shares some of their most important life lessons. And then there's the Me Ride, which you'll share more about him as a driver.
Oh.
Which again,
last thing you probably want to hear.
Yeah. It tends to be, like I said, the handful of times I've done an Uber or a Lyft drive, it usually ends up being how long you been driving, you live in the area, like the stuff like that, like very shallow small talk about the driving experience. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you talk about with a driver?
I don't know.
Or if you're with a group of people, obviously if it's just you or you and one other person, there's a little bit more of a, like that feel like you have to talk to them.
Right.
But if it's a group of like 3, 4, 5 people,
then you can completely ignore them.
Yeah, it's more of you're just my driver, just get me there.
Listen to you. You're just my driver.
Please
move it. Let's go.
You're visiting with the group,
Listen, keep your mouth shut and get me to my destination, please.
A couple I'm surprised that aren't offered include like a music or sing-along. Like choose the music or like a sing-along one.
That's a good one.
Be good for, especially like a Friday night type of a thing.
Good idea, yeah.
Or doing maybe not exactly the cash cab, but like a driving trivia thing would be kind of fun.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What about like confession Uber?
Oh.
So you could be like, confess me your sins, child. And they'll tell you everything. You could put like a little partition up between you and the back seat.
Sure.
They could slide the little thing. By the end of the ride, you tell them what to do to repent. 4 Hail Marys. Get yourself a white chocolate Starbucks and have a great day. Something like that.
That's a heck of a repentance there. It's beautiful. So I would love to see more Uber drivers do stuff like this. It's kind of like the Airbnb bit, because you try to make yourself stand out, so you offer unique experiences. Because you can, to a degree, I guess I don't use it enough to really know a lot about it, but you can kind of pick and choose your driver to a degree based on like ratings and stuff like that.
Sure.
So,
I've never gotten into that much. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. The only experiences that really stand out in my mind were nothing like this. Like you and I had the experience in Chicago going, are you our driver?
Right,
because your phone died.
My phone died with the Uber car, yep.
And then, so I was in Seattle last fall for a few days, and to get from the airport to where I was staying, I needed to get a ride. And that driver was flying, back and forth. I mean, driving like the stereotypical West Coast driver, just weaving in between lanes. And they knew what they were doing, but I was sitting in the back seat going,
holding on to whatever you could.
Which, by the way, here's a question. Do you sit, if it's just you and your Uber or Lyft driver, do you sit in the back seat or sit in the front seat?
Well, I would sit in the back seat. I don't think I would ever sit in the front seat.
Because I've noticed there have been a few situations where, again, I've used Uber or Lyft maybe like a dozen times ever. But there have been a couple instances where I feel like the driver was like suggesting I sit in the front, and that felt a little weird to me. And I always sit in the back. Yeah. Like they seem disappointed I sat in the back seat.
Well, that's a good question for anybody that's driving an Uber right now or does drive an Uber. Like, do you like it when people sit in the front seat, or would you prefer them sit in the back seat? I would assume that most Uber drivers would rather have them in the back seat.
Unless you're hauling 3 or more people around.
Maybe you can keep an eye on somebody easier in the front seat, though, I guess. Yeah. Maybe you want to, I don't know. But that's a good question.
It's more of the buddy experience as opposed to the driver experience.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want. Yeah, no. 7402-MIX is our phone number if you drive an Uber, and you. I'd love to know that.
I would too.
Do you like somebody sitting in your front seat with you?
Because the assumption between the two of us is apparently backseat. We both agree on that.
Sure. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Yeah. So if you, whether you're a rider that likes to ride in the front.
They opened up the front door and did a little pat on the seat, like, let's go. It'd be like, okay, let's go.
Rider or drivers, let us know. What are your thoughts? Call us up 7402-MIX. Shoot us a message on the Mix mobile app. I'm curious to know. I really am. Music on the way in a bit for you from Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles, and more than Northland's number one hit music mix coming up here in Mix 108. Mix 108 Morning Brew. Good morning and happy Monday. It's Nick Cooper. It's Tony Hart. And there's a gas station chain in the United States. It's unfortunately not in our area that is doing something that I would be curious to see what would happen if it was brought to this area. So I'll let the story tell itself here.
Things are really hopping at the Hop Shop in Florence, and the crowd isn't there just to buy gas or snacks. They're curious about the big red buttons in the bathrooms.
And we tell people to go in there and push the button because a lot of people come out and say, well, I didn't push it because it tells me not to. And we'll say, well, he's winking at you, so we want you to push it.
So there's big red buttons in the gas stations, bathrooms. Sign that says don't push it, but there's like an animated character that's winking with the sign saying don't push the big red button.
Gotcha. I'd push the big red button.
You might wonder, what does the big red button do? Are you a button pusher? Do you see buttons and want to just like,
oh, sure. I'll push it.
That checks out. Here's what the buttons do.
One push sets the balls in motion and starts a party in the potty.
You know this is cool.
So,
they'll just burst into laughter. And then they come out and they run out and grab family and run back in the bathroom. And it just brings a lot of joy.
So there's a party that gets initiated. The main lights go down. There's a disco ball, which you kind of heard a reference to, and some music that starts playing. They've got a rotation of songs. So it's a bathroom disco party, basically. Which, okay, that's an interesting idea, right? But how are customers reacting to these disco bathroom parties?
They're a viral sensation on social media. TikTok star Mr. Grouchy came to this opening, leaving fans flushed with excitement.
It's pretty wild, pretty fun time in there.
It's funny. I love it.
What? First of all, what was that sound effect? Was it? It was like a plop.
I'm not totally
what was
sure.
Mr. Grouchy doing? Leaving a Mr. Grouchy? Yep. What is Mr. Grouchy anyways? I've never heard of Mr. Grouchy.
It was somebody in like a knockoff the Grinch costume.
Oh, okay.
So it was a knockoff Grinch costume from the looks of it. Yeah, people are loving this idea. There was actually somebody that loves it so much. They celebrated their birthday by visiting the bathrooms around the different stores, and this is in Kentucky.
Alex Hudson of Florence may be the biggest fan of the flashy facilities.
I love pressing this button every time.
She celebrated her 20th birthday by taking her friends to each disco bathroom.
They're like, you're doing what for your birthday? I'm like, you heard me correct. I said I'm going to every single Hop Shop location. It's just a good feeling in any of the bathrooms.
What is the name of this brand? Hot Shot?
Hop Shop.
Hop Shop.
Yeah, and so there are 5 locations in Kentucky that'll have this thing going for them. The owner brags about they have some of the cleanest bathrooms in Kentucky, blah, blah, blah. So this got me thinking 2 things. First one, so the company around the Northland that likes to brag about their bathroom cleanliness tends to be Quick Trip, right? So what if Quick Trip adopted something like this?
Oh.
What would you think about that?
I'd be all on board for that. They already have loud music in their bathrooms at Quick Trip. I feel like the music is really loud in the Quick Trip bathrooms, which is fine because you don't really want to.
Yeah, drowns out things.
Yeah, you don't want to hear what's going on necessarily, but
yeah, that was done on purpose, I'm sure.
Oh, I love these disco bathrooms, though. I just checked it out, their website. It's a thing. Wow, that's neat.
Could you imagine, though, let's say you go in there and you don't know this is a thing and you're doing what you're doing and somebody else comes in and hits the button on the wall and all of a sudden you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Separately, would you be worried about the line to get into the bathrooms during busy times? Like, that's a thing anyway. Sometimes
I'll
be like,
bouncer? You got to have is there a dress code to get in the bathrooms?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've had this problem before, like not with the single unit bathrooms, but like where it's more than one person can be in there at a time, where you're still like waiting and waiting. Is this going to add to that wait?
Yeah, I hope people aren't loitering in the bathroom. I hope.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that a woman wants to spend her birthday or bathroom hopping.
Everybody's got a thing. It's the year before you turn 21. She's like, what are we going to do? We're going to go and have bathroom rave parties, I guess. So the idea has been thrown out there. Time for some Northland gas station chain. What are you going to do? How you stepping it up?
Well, this is these Hop Shops are a marathon gas station. We have marathons. Oh. There's one in Superior. I just saw that yesterday, thinking, wow, there's a marathon here. But anyway, so maybe that's a thing. Maybe the marathon gas stations can jump on that trend.
The idea's out there.
Somebody
do something. I don't know. I don't feel like their bathroom experience. As long as it's clean, I'm happy. That's the baseline for me. Anything beyond that's unnecessary.
quick place to do your business. Yeah, I just generally don't want to
get out, move on.
Yeah, I just don't generally want to hang out in a bathroom.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, we're going to kick off your workday 108 minutes commercial-free music on the way from Maroon 5. Luke Combs, Post Malone, and more all coming up here in Mix and Away. Good morning.